Today we're going to make sour cream coffee cake, which OU's past president's wife, Mrs. McDavis, it was her favorite, a favorite of many others. The bundt pans come in many different shapes and sizes, just like some of us women. So we're going to grease it, and I'm going to use melted butter and a pastry brush. And you'll say, well, I could have used Pam or spray, but we want to get all the nooks and crannies. It's a shame if you get all this work and all the money to make this cake and it won't come out of the pan. So after we put the butter on, we shook flour around to make sure it was coated. That way you can see if you miss any places and you can touch them up. Taylor's going to put the recipe for the other mixture to grease the pan. It might be helpful when you have a slippery pan to use that. So we have the pan coated, ready for the cake. I have 2 sticks of butter in the mixer, and you need to use good butter. Land O'Lakes is perfect. If you're going to spend the money to make something, you need good product to begin with. So we're going to cream 2 cups of sugar in this butter till it's very, very creamy. So we added 2 cups of sugar in the butter, and we're going to add 2 eggs. And we're going to beat this until it's very light and fluffy. The sugar and butter and eggs have been beating for approximately 7 minutes. You need to remember to scrape down the sides of the bowl while this is beating. And we have 2 cups of cake flour, and we're going to add a teaspoon of baking powder and a pinch of salt. We're going to add this to the butter and eggs and sugar. This is the consistency of the batter. It has the sugar, eggs, flour, all the ingredients. We have a cup of sour cream here. And we're going to put a half a teaspoon of vinegar or vanilla in there, and if it runs over, it doesn't matter. I like extra vanilla. So we're going to fold that together a little bit. And add it to the batter. And don't do this on the mixer because it says fold in the sour cream. And that's what gives the height to your coffee cake. So we're just going to fold it in. 2 tablespoons of sugar and a teaspoon of cinnamon that we mixed up. And we need a cup of chopped pecans. We're going to put them in there. Stir it up. So we're going to put some of this in the bottom of the pan. Just sprinkle it around in there. So we folded the sour cream into our batter, and we're going to put half of that in the pan. So we put half the batter in on top of our nuts. We're smoothing the batter around. Then we're going to add the rest of our cinnamon sugar and nuts. Now we're going to put the rest of the batter in there. Then we're going to bake it for 1 hour or until it is done, when a toothpick comes out of the center and it's clean. That's that. Pretty easy. It was in the oven about 1 hour and 5 minutes, and we're going to test it. There's no crumbs. The other thing is, some people say if you listen to it, and it's not popping, cracking, it's finished. We're going to let it sit a few minutes before we turn it out. Taylor, this is the moment of truth. This will be how good we grease the pan. Looks like we did pretty good job. I'm sure you're going to want a piece of that. So we cut a piece of coffee cake to show you what it looks like. It's real tender. Now, if you make these and there's only a couple of you to eat it, wrap individual pieces and put it in the freezer and take it out, and make sure you heat this coffee cake before you have it with coffee. That's our episode for today. Check the website for the recipe, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
I got you in the background, don't worry.